103 and 102.1 ESPN Northwest Florida. I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
We paid how much for those lessons?
Shh. She's doing great.
Oh, yeah, totally. Can you pass me a Pepsi Zero Sugar? Great job, honey! Oh, look at that. That's not the end.
No way. Now it's time for the encore.
You know what? You're right. 5 times? Not enough times.
For everyone who traded in rock concerts for their kids' recitals, you've compromised enough. Pepsi Zero Sugar. That's what I like.
Here is your ice-cold Pepsi Zero Sugar, sir.
Oh, thanks. Wanna watch the game?
Ooh, little sports ball on a Sunday afternoon. Don't mind if I do. Hey, did we win? It sounds like we won.
It's still the first quarter.
I must be lucky. People say that about me. Tough break on that free throw there. Shouldn't be doing that.
Dude, we're watching football. Come on.
For everyone who spent the entire game explaining the entire game, you've compromised enough. Pepsi Zero Sugar. That's what I like.
Golf Plus is your premier golf shop on the Gulf Coast. Not a big box or a chain store, but a local store with golf experts to serve you. An amazing array of demo and fitting products, plus a professional repair shop that can handle anything from a basic re-grip to a full set of re-shafts and everything in between. Golf Plus has locations in Dothan and Panama City Beach to serve you. Come see them today for all your golf needs. Located next to Firefly at the shops at Edgewater. Call 850-249-2726.
Hey there, I'm Swampy Jack. I've traveled the world for decades, and now I've brought some of my most exciting adventures to Panama City Beach. Brave perilous heights of the Kraken Tower Swing as you soar above the beach. The whole family will have fun playing my new mini golf course, which recreates my expedition to the ruins of Angkor Wat. Skip the restaurant lines and enjoy a meal at Swampy's Cantina, and enjoy a beer while you listen to laughter bubbling from the spin coaster. Your adventure awaits at Swampy Jack's Wongo Adventure.
Reliable Copy Products is proud to be the exclusive dealer in Northwest Florida for Kyocera office equipment. Reliable Copy Products has been committed to providing professional, personalized service for the last 35 years. They understand that the right equipment does not always fall within today's budget requirements, so they offer several options for the equipment you need today for the growth you expect tomorrow. Call James Mothers at 784-6601, 784-6601. Reliable Copy Products on Harrison Avenue, just north of Bay High School.
Bay Handyman Services is your complete home services company. Their slogan is listen better, plan better, build better. Bay Handyman Services holds a 5-star rating, and they're a local company serving Bay and surrounding counties. They offer a wide variety of services, from simply hanging a picture to full house remodels. Bay Handyman Services provides 24/7 emergency services. Call them at 850-753-5014 or visit their website, bayhandymanservices.com.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WTOT, W271DM Mariana. Powered by Pepsi. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Lights, camera, action.
It's the Coach James Hale Show.
Do you know who I am?
Live and local inside the J. Michaels studio.
People know me.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Get past the people, get past the hit me. And hit me, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. You know, I feel bad out there. If you have not heard yet, I feel bad for Jimbo Fisher, Deion Sanders, the big booster down in Miami. They got hit last night. Jeremy, they got punched in the face. We'll get into that in a little bit. It's Thursday. That means Tommy Santamont is actually not out killing some form of animal. He is here in the studio. Good to see you, Tommy.
I was catching. I wasn't
shooting. You went fishing. Okay.
Catching catfish.
Do you release them or you keep them?
I'll release them to my friend.
They taste pretty good, too.
Only catfish at your friend. Yeah. I still have cuts.
Before we get going, John, you got to make some announcements.
Yeah, a couple of things, and they're kind of related because they're about billboards. First of all, I know you've been driving around town. You see these great big electronic billboards. Look for our 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida billboard, a great big huge electronic billboard. Take a picture of it and then tag it on your Facebook page with ESPN Northwest Florida. Tag the photo of the billboard and then send it to us here at ESPNPC.com. And there we have a plethora of prizes to
Oh,
give
it's
away.
unbelievable.
Now then, that being said about billboards, you may be driving around, and the company Lamar that owns a lot of these billboards all over town has taken it upon themselves to honor, let's say, nurses. They just took pictures of nurses at random. My wife's one of them. We're sitting on the back porch yesterday, and all of a sudden she starts getting all these text with pictures of her and her name, you know, underneath of it on billboards, and she's like, "Oh my God, you know what has happened? What have I done?" And and allegedly, what the company has done is they've just kind of taken their billboards that they haven't sold out. There's something like 40 of them. 40 different nurses, all here in Bay County, and they've honored them by posting their pictures out there.
Lamar did
and
this.
and
Lamar
Lamar,
did
the
this.
billboard
Great.
company,
What
has
kind of
done that.
meal payment does she get?
I don't know. That's what, you know. I was like, okay, you know, what's in it? What's
Yeah,
in it
right.
for us, other than, you know, now that
She's famous.
everywhere
What a
again,
time.
yeah. And so I think that's really
great.
cool.
That's
And nurses
outstanding.
love their jobs. And my wife's been an RN, working in the ER, and now she's a director of nursing, and she loves her job. Most nurses love their jobs. It's hard work. You know, she'll be home on the weekends or on her days off, and she'll call the hospital and ask about patients that's come into the ER. So, I mean, she loves her job. Most nurses do. And, of course, let's not forget our police department and the Bay County Sheriff's Department.
Yeah.
Let's not forget those guys.
First responders.
And the
yeah.
first responder and the firemen and the EMTs.
Yep.
Man, what the horror stories that my wife tells me about working in the ER. So thanks, Lamar, for doing that sort of thing. And next time you see a first responder out at Walmart or at your local restaurant or at the gas station, you don't got to walk up and slobber all over them, but give them a nod and let them know that
I'm glad you
we
said
we
that.
appreciate that. We appreciate
Lamar,
everything
thank you
they
for
did.
doing that.
I
And
think
I'm
it's
glad,
cool.
I'm glad you brought that up because it's the same thing American Charlie does down there. Dave, you know, Dave owns Firefly.
Exactly,
They'll be on.
yeah.
They'll be on at 8:30 today. Mike, that's what they did when this restaurant. They want to honor those people every single day. You just tell them you work there. You don't have to have a uniform or anything like that. Tell them what you do for a living. They're going to take care of every person there. You get a discount every single day, and it's a nice one too. So go try American Charlie's. And I appreciate what they're doing, and also Lamar Signs doing that. I got a problem though. The guys that do our promo for our show here, and I got complained, and it's about you two. No, I'm telling you, it's about you two, and I'm gonna tell you what happened. Every time they do a commercial for this show, it's a big picture of Jeremy, big picture of Tommy, and I'm right, little bitty thing of me.
It's that NIL.
Well, I knew y'all would bring that up, but all the other people.
I like that new truck I got.
Yeah, all the other people are like Brian, Dr. Mitchell, Jim Brandt, Ryan Mulvey, Jason Kovaleski, Dr. Ward, and all the other ones that come on here that, you know, do a great job. But guys, listen, it wasn't me, and they proved it to me too. I didn't. I said, you know, we got to think about everybody. And then they have all these pictures laid out. They had when I saw that picture of Jim Brandt and Ethan, I said, oh God, you're right. We can't use that one. Then Dr. Mitchell and Brian, I saw that. That was even worse than that one. So I understand it. Now the one with Ryan Mulvey and Jason Kovaleski looked pretty good, but I guess it's because the age difference or whatever. But when that picture of bad lighting, whatever. But that picture of Jeremy and Tommy, that's some handsome guys there. I mean,
I agree 100%.
Yes. Thank you. Hey, I'm sorry. The rest of you guys are doing a wonderful job, but these two have stole the show. I can't handle it. Hey, Jeremy, what's going on down in church? Everything going good?
Everything's going well. We're getting ready for a big vacation Bible school coming up in a few weeks. All hands on deck. And you know the season. I mean, we're in graduation, recognizing our graduates on Sunday. We had 9 that'll be getting ready to set out into the world. And preschool graduation this morning, so we got a bunch of little ones. We were best of Bay at our preschool, and this morning the little 4-year-old is going to be getting ready to be loosed on all the kindergarten teachers, so hang on.
I saw a picture on Facebook of your daughter. Was her birthday recently or something?
Yeah, Alexis turned 11.
Happy birthday to, is she listening?
Might be. Yeah, so it could be.
When's her birthday?
She had her birthday Tuesday.
I saw that.
Yeah.
She's 11 now?
11 years old now.
My daughter, you'll love it.
Hear that?
Love it.
I'm about to say your granddaughter.
Yeah,
your daughter. You you see that picture of him and his wife? I saw a picture of them two. Are we all in New Orleans?
Yeah.
I knew that was
Baton Rouge, yeah.
okay. I knew it was something down there.
Yeah.
I knew it was the Mississippi River.
Yep.
I swam across that thing so many times. I used to fish, as far as you know.
Doing your
But anyway,
Conway Twitty.
And the shark got you, right? Got your
in a
hand.
certain place. Yeah, I was trying to fight him off and cut him off.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is what it is. But no, it's a great picture, you
Yeah,
guys.
we had
It really
a good,
was.
good time on anniversary trip last year.
Did
over
she?
there.
Now she go to Alabama too? University? of
No,
Alabama?
no, she actually Huntington College, Montgomery girl.
Are you kidding me?
No, she's like a legacy up there, fourth, fifth generation. So.
She was from Montgomery.
No, from South Georgia, Albany area.
Well, did y'all meet after
In Montgomery,
college?
yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So we're both
thought
up there.
She's from Albany.
Albany, Leesburg, you know.
Leesburg.
nobody-
Oh,
you know,
yeah. I've been
everybody-
to Leesburg several times.
Everybody knows Albany. They don't
Yeah.
know Lee County, but
Yeah.
yeah, you know, she went to school with Luke Bryan and Philip Phillips' mama
Yeah.
was one of her teachers, and so you know that area's produced.
Huntington College. I'm gonna tell you what. Huntington College is a good school.
It is.
Academically,
yeah.
it's outstanding.
We
Good,
had Coach
good
Turk
professors.
on here
I
a few
love
times.
him.
and,
Yeah.
yeah, his mom and daddy right here in the Cove. So
I did not know
folks.
that. I thought she was a Bama, but she does like Alabama. Right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Good.
She likes Alabama.
She don't have a choice, does she, Jeremy?
I mean, right.
What can you not like about Alabama? Good Lord, man. Hey, we're gonna have Coach Patton on here. I was worried about him. Then they were down. Well, we'll hold off and talk all about when we get him on here. But they win.
Speaking of Abigail, her birthday's you know, like mid-September. They're September 8th. And I said, well, how would you like to go to Austin for your birthday? She said, that would be great. And then I told her Alabama was playing Texas.
she figured it out pretty quick.
Yeah.
Didn't she? Well, what do you think, man? 11 o'clock kickoff. Are you going to be able to handle that?
Yeah,
People in
big time.
Texas are upset.
I'm like Coach Stark. Let's just spot the ball.
You use that language he said?
No, let's put it in play. You know,
11 o'clock kickoff. They're telling me they're upset. The Texas fans are going nuts. They're petitioning, signing all kind of stuff. It ain't gonna help.
it's not going to help.
It's gonna be what it is.
I mean, you know, Fox will be showing something on the baseball playoffs that night.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's no way.
Yeah.
They're going to move that out of prime time.
Well, what we got going on here, Holmes County will be playing Bozeman for the state championship. And again, if you can please help out Bozeman High School. Now they got to stay an extra night, and we're glad of that. They're going to have to pay more money to eat and everything else. That bus driver costs money. If you can donate, and I talked to Coach yesterday, he thanked us for helping. They have had a lot of people help out, and I know one person didn't anybody know about it. He always does this kind of thing. And what a wonderful man he is, and I love our mayor here in Panama City. Great mayor. But anyway, Tommy, how was your little Georgia trip?
It was very successful.
Did you have fun?
Oh yeah, we went noodling for catfish and
Yeah.
caught 30 catfish, and they probably weighed around 300 pounds. Catfish.
Good Lord, that's good.
It was fun. That's the first time I've done it. That's in Lake Sinclair.
Now,
right?
did somebody cook them for you guys, or
No, we didn't.
Y'all
We
do
just kept them. I gave them to my friend. He took most of them.
it? Yeah.
But it's in right there at Milledgeville, Georgia. Lake Sinclair. It's full of catfish.
Wow.
I mean, loaded.
Did Louise go? Or just you?
No, just me and 3 other people.
If y'all have not seen Tommy Sentiment in a while, he has lost a lot of weight. Looks really good. You feeling good? You looking good?
Yeah, sometimes I do.
Would you like to go over your medical history with everybody in Bay County,
Not really.
Northwest Florida?
Not really.
Can I go over it? No, I won't.
You've already said most of it.
we like doing that when you're not here. That way you can't shut me up.
I know it.
Anyway, hey, Jeremy, I know you're going to have a lot about this, and we're getting ready to have a break. And as a matter of fact, we'll hold off when we get back to the break. I had an opportunity the other day. I went by Stevenson Air Conditioning, saw Debbie, and I'm hearing this noise, and I think they have a dog in there or something. I looked down, she had a little baby. I said, by her desk, you know, those little rocking things. But anyway, I don't know why I'm telling y'all this, but it was good seeing that little baby in there. And they had a yeah, they had some Alabama stuff in that office too. She likes Alabama. Good people there. Yeah, I know you're going to use Stevenson Air Conditioning if you ever have a problem. Us Bama people got to stick together. I had something else to talk about, and I can't even think what it was. It went right out of my mind.
Well, I'll tell you, one of my friends, Jeremy knows Paul Lanehart, goes to our church. He was telling me the other day we were meeting Tuesday. We meet every Tuesday morning, and he was telling me, well, my air conditioner, when I had to go get out, I said, where'd you get it? He said, Stevenson.
There you go.
So he went there and got it. So
good. I'm telling you, I love it in Bayport. When I walk around, I see a truck in there, and now I walk around, and I've got my ESPN shirt on, and these people go, "Hey, coach, hey, coach." Because of the ESPN shirt. And they listen to our commercial. Oh, yeah, they listen to the show. I thank them. I appreciate that. Julie had some meeting last night with a bunch of them. Walsingham's had some kind of get together. I wasn't invited, but
of course.
Was. Yeah, well, you know.
Way it goes.
It is what it is. Let's talk about some of our great people, guys. I want you all to get out there and support all of them. We got a new Mexican restaurant, and today, Friday, they're going to have a little Mexican band playing. I think Tommy Louise will be there. Are you going to sing this week or not? I don't guess you're singing.
I think I sing Saturday.
It's 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Yeah, it's
28.
2 weeks.
Saturday the 28th.
I saw the contract. Couldn't remember if it was this Friday or 2 weeks from now.
Yeah,
It's
2
always
weeks
tomorrow.
Yeah. El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill. And Jeremy's here, so be careful. Okay. We won't talk about the tequila. But that's a great restaurant. It's the newest and best restaurant on Thomas Drive. It's right across from the Navy base. Big Dave's in there, does a wonderful job. Tell him I sent you. Matter of fact, we might have to go. No. Yeah, we might go have dinner there. No, I'm not sure. Also, the American Eagle. We're talking about discount for all first responders. Dave and Mike have been here later today. And Firefly's back up and running. Thank God. They had a little. You hear about the fire?
Mm-hmm.
We'll ask Dave about that when he gets in here. But our old buddy, J. Michael Studios, when we are in J. Michael Studios as we speak, the best seafood, the coldest beer. Yesterday, Jeremy, it was spaghetti day. Lunch was packed out. I went in there early. I got there before 5, and they already had a lot of people in there then. It was a good day yesterday.
Did you have spaghetti?
I had spaghetti. At lunchtime now, I had a salad. And then at dinner, I had to have that spaghetti. It was good. And I tried my best not to eat the bread, but I gave in. I did it. So,
What kind of dessert you have?
I didn't. I did not.
Can't believe that.
I was good. I came home and had 2 cookies, but anyway. But I didn't have it there. Also, don't forget about Chuck Tucker. What a great, Chuck's daddy.
Yeah, I saw
principal.
Hugh Tucker day before yesterday.
He's still looking good?
Yeah, he did. They're doing great.
Chuck is really pretty. Chuck does a good job. I tell you what, if you're going to go to closing, you make sure you demand South Oak Title and Closing. All right, we'll be right back. Jeremy Pritchett, Tommy Santamont. We get back, we got to tell you what's going on up in Tuscaloosa. It actually happened in Birmingham, and it's going to shock the world. It's going to open up a can of worms. There's going to be some bad stuff going on about this. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida is the Panhandle's destination for the Atlanta Braves.
Got him, swinging strike three.
Ozzie Albies, Austin Riley, Ronald Acuna Jr. and the Braves are back.
Unbelievable.
And hungry for more. Listen to the world champion Atlanta Braves on a world champion radio station.
Rosario knocked the living daylights out of it.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good Thursday morning. I'm forecasting mostly sunny skies, warm temperatures today in the mid-80s, a southwest wind about 10 to 15. Partly to mostly cloudy overnight in the low 70s. Water temperature in the Gulf of Mexico is 78. Partly sunny Friday, maybe a thunderstorm. This weather forecast has been brought to you by Mid-South Lumber, best little lumber yard in Panama City and Youngstown. For 104.3 and 102.1 ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
Sykes Concrete has been in business in this area since 1947, and 3 generations later, they're still going strong. See Sykes Concrete for dirt, sand, rock, and concrete. They can handle any size job from the smallest to the largest. Sykes Concrete pays CDL truck drivers some of the highest wages in Bay County, making $50,000 to $75,000 a year, including holiday and vacation pay, plus health insurance. See Hugh Sykes at Sykes Concrete, 8030 Highway 77, on the right, just north of Southport Elementary School.
Chuck was terrible at fishing. He spent many frustrating hours attempting to get results he saw from internet videos, aggravating trial and error fishing trips, and misguided advice from well-intended friends. Chuck is happy now with his newfound success after he visited Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle, where we keep fishing fun, simple, and successful. See us soon at Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle, located directly off Highway 98 on the west end of Panama City Beach.
He's a 10-foot-tall, barrel-chested beast man who showers in vodka and feeds his baby shrimp scampi.
I'm kind of a big deal.
Please welcome.
Hang don't hurt.
Live and local from the J. Michaels studio, the Coach James Hale Show, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Last night, Birmingham, I almost sent it to Jeremy, and I didn't. I knew you'd know about it anyway. last night, Saban's in Birmingham speaking, and they were promoting the World Games, which are going to be in Birmingham. And Jerry, what exactly is that? That's soccer, world soccer competition. Does it have anything to do with the Olympics, or is it just something?
It's one of those type of things, yeah. I'll have to do a little more looking into it. It's supposed to be a very big thing for Birmingham to be able to host this.
It's going to be a lot of national exposure for that.
Right.
But anyway, they asked, and I don't even think they asked him a question. He just brought it out of left field. He's talking about recruiting, and he goes, and I know you're going to hit some more on Alabama update, but this is pretty big. We need to get in this now. He goes, look, the way the direction college football is going, more or less what it's about. And he took up for the NCAA. They're getting a lot of heat. Everybody's jumping them. But the bottom line is they can't enforce their laws or their rules because they'll get sued. It goes to court. It's every time a kid, they deny a kid to transfer, give them a special, pass, let them play. They lost in court, so they said the heck with it. Now transfer, we're not going to fight it. Kind of like what you see in public schools with transferring. It's just we can't win it. So that's what happened in Southwest Florida. And they said, hey, a long time ago, their school board attorneys probably smarter than ones around other parts of the state. They came and said, look, we're going to lose money against this. Let them go. Yeah. Don't try to bluff them. Don't try to con them. Let it go. We can't win it. And that's what the NCAA has done. He took up, and he goes, look, we're not supposed to be using NIL to get players. He said, Texas, we finished second in the nation in recruiting at Alabama. Number one team in the nation was Texas A&M, and they bought this is exact words, they bought every single player. Whoa. Then he goes, Jacksonville State, they're over there bragging. Yeah. They're bragging about getting a player, and he's a great football player. They got a really great football player. I think he was the number one recruit in the country for $1 million. Then he jumps on Miami. He goes down in Miami. There's a guy in the paper. He's bragging about it. It's a booster in the paper bragging about $400,000 to a basketball player. $800,000 to a basketball player. But when he said all that, and I heard it, Jeremy, I went, oh, Lord, it's going to get ugly now. It's going to be bad because you know good and well, in the old days, things happen. I don't care who you are or what you've done. Nobody's perfect. You got to screwed up somehow, some way. And former coaches, a player. Alabama's had a history of doing things under the table. I'm not saying that it's happened when he's there, but you know good and well what's going to be said. I just listened to a couple of shows coming in this morning, and they were saying, heck, yeah, I bet you make more money playing Alabama, you get it in the NFL.
Has Jimbo responded yet?
You know he's going to.
Oh, I know he will.
Dion has. Yeah. Dion has responded. His son woke him up, told him about it, and he goes, I'll be having something to say about this later. Jeremy, you want to read what he said?
Yeah, he said, you best believe I will address that lie Coach Saban told tomorrow. I was awakened by my son that sent me the article that said we paid. It was Travis Hunter's the player in question. So, yeah.
$1 million? Oh, my. Anyway. Well, I did hear that Biden's on his way over there, Dion, that he's going to be there with him to help him through this.
Saturday down south, I'm talking about the next Aflac commercial with Dion and Coach Saban.
Yeah. You think Dion's got his blue vest yet? Yeah. You get that blue vest? Oh, my. He might throw Saban out of that chair and him sit in there. But, Jeremy, where does this come? Why is he frustrated? Give everybody a little background on this.
Remember he was speaking to business leaders last night. And so that's why this comes up. You'd think he'd come in and talk X's and O's and players, but addressing business leaders, he really just kind of went headlong into what is the business issue facing college football right now. And name and likeness has shifted the landscape tremendously. I mean, the genie's out of the bottle. He's exactly right. The NCAA cannot enforce its own rules because it's not against the law now with the Supreme Court ruling. So it's just the Wild West out there, and where this lands, really no one knows yet. But we can certainly see the impacts it's having. I mean, couple this with his comments from earlier in the week about parity, and I realize there's not been much parity in terms of how Alabama's dominated the SEC.
They dominated the country.
In the country. Yeah. Coach Kiffin's worried about Saban's well-being in his tweet response to that. But
he goes, he knows the definition of the word.
Definition of parity. But there is a competitive balance piece that's now certainly out of play. there might have been a time you'd look at a mid-level conference team being able to possibly come in and pull off the upset against the top tier, and you give this another 3 to 5 years, and I don't think you'll ever see a situation where a Kentucky would go into a Gainesville and get a W, again.
Well, I'm looking right now through the internet, Sports Illustrated. Saban calls out A&M. All the headlines, it doesn't go into everything he addressed. It's just that one particular statement he made, which is going to blow up everything. Here's another one, AL.com. Nick Saban, Texas A&M bought every player. So that's going to be the headlines. You listen to any show right now, national show, on TV, on the radio, they're talking about it. And I'm telling you what, he's going to get some blowback on this.
Well, there's a bit of a revenge game later in this fall, and they're going to welcome the Aggies back to Tuscaloosa. And, we don't think he's not setting the table for that one.
But I'll be honest with you, Jeremy, if Jimbo, there's 4 schools that can do something no one else in college football can do. The amount of money they have, and if they turn their boosters loose and everything, it looks like they're doing it right now. You're not going to stop A&M. If they put another class together like they had last year, you put 2 classes that good together, they're going to win a national championship. You can't compete against that. You can out-coach people and everything else, but you got to have players, and they're going to have players like this. The class they brought in really and truly is unbelievable. You never see anything like it. It's crazy. The thing about it now, 2 years ago, Alabama signed at that time the greatest class in college football history, and now they're sophomores. So this team this year, if they don't get it done beating A&M this year, it's going to get tougher down the road. Texas Longhorns are going to be really good in the future. Southern Cal's going to be outstanding in the future. And look at right now, the number 1 recruiting class in the country as of today is Notre Dame. And those are the 4 schools. I'm going to talk more about it around 8:30. Those are the 4 schools people better look out for. They can do things that Georgia can't do, Alabama can't do, because the amount of money they can control, their boosters, their alumni is incredible. And again, we'll talk about that later. But Jeremy, I wish he would. I'm going to tell you right now. I had a kid. I've had a couple kids recruited. They were above board. I didn't see them do anything wrong. Now, the one particular kid wanted to go to Alabama the entire time, so they didn't really have to recruit him as hard maybe as others. But everybody else in the country came by. I had Urban Meyer call my cell phone when he comes down to Gainesville and see him over this one kid and all these other. No, I tell you what, Notre Dame. That's when I said, you know what, Brian Kelly. They were in there, and they didn't take no for an answer. They wanted to meet with him and everything else. But everybody's done something wrong in the past. It could be a little thing, a big thing. Sometimes when you're head coach, you don't know what your assistant coaches are doing. You don't know what your boosters are doing. So I kind of wish he wouldn't have said these things. I know why he said them. He was you want to say what you said? What you said, why he said them, he's at the age he's at.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's at the age in his career, one, he just doesn't care. But 2, I think he does have a concern for the game. And if somebody doesn't address this, then it's going to look a lot different for the next generation going forward than what he spent his whole life coaching and developing.
Yeah. Let me ask both of you about this with this NIL deal. How can it keep going on like it's doing now, where they're talking about gas in August could cost $6.50 a gallon at every state, and when things get this crazy, they're going to create a food shortage. They're going to do it on purpose. So if everything's costing so much, can all these people afford to go to the games? Number one, travel, spend a night at a hotel, go to those games, and then the sponsorships. Are they going to give away that type of money where it's really not paying off? I mean, how can you pay the entire 25 football players at Texas A&M that kind of money at these different businesses? I mean, these are businessmen. Mm-hmm. Sooner or later, you can't keep throwing away money because I don't see the return. Jeremy, I just don't see the return. Am I wrong?
No.
I mean, I the one guy, Bo Jackson, those commercials he used to do against Nike, those were cool. I mean, that's the biggest, greatest thing I ever saw. Michael Jordan, people like that. I just don't see an offensive tackle bringing in a lot of money doing commercials. Maybe Bryce Young does it at Alabama, but I haven't even seen any of his.
Well, if you win a national championship, like if Texas A&M wins, what's the first thing people are going to say? They bought the players. The national championship's going to be tainted for that one reason. And I don't know. I think the whole thing's crazy. I'm sure Texas A&M did it because
you can do it.
They could do it.
Yeah, it's free.
I mean,
it's legal.
If I was a coach and my job depending on winning games, and I got the boost of all that money, I'd say, let's get them. Let's get them. And that's what they've done.
Do you think it can? We see this 10 years down the road. I mean, there's no telling what's going to happen.
Well, these collectives emerged, and now you've got almost a quasi lobbying group running the university athletic department.
Yeah, you really do.
You do.
You mentioned how much power they're going to have in the future.
Right.
Look what happened last year to Brian Harsin.
Yeah.
You imagine a couple of years from now?
Right. I mean, it's outsourced now. You know, I know the Auburn president, and I know we'll talk Auburn later as well, getting ready to summon the AD for a conversation.
I got that. Yeah.
6 weeks ago.
Yeah.
But now you'd be summoned by the collective head.
Right.
You know, the university is going to lose control of the athletic department at the rate we're going.
You're exactly right. The entire university, not just for sports, everything.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't be surprised if Congress gets involved with this now.
Yeah.
And starts trying to make the rules where they're cover all the
they're
schools.
trying to get some kind of antitrust deal. Saban mentioned that too.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to get something. Something has to be done. Heck, the NFL, those guys, I'd rather coach there than deal with this college thing.
And you know, you talk about the presidents. The presidents are temporary, you know, entities, and they're not going to be around to really shape anything. The tenure of college presidents 7 to 10 years tops. So you know, they're not going to be the ones to say, "Hey, let's do this."
Mm-hmm.
And
that's right.
So there's a vacuum, and somebody's going to fill it, but it won't be the organizational structures that we expect.
All right, let's talk about some of our great people. Dr. Chad Mitchell, every Monday. What a wonderful job. Tom, you know Chad for years, 22 years, Bay County Sidelines, taking care of athletes. I'll tell you one thing he did. We had a player that had a back injury, happened, I want to say during the spring. And a lot of people say he's not going to play his senior year at camp with his back. He goes to Chad. Chad did some work on him, rehabbed him, everything else. The young man gets a full Division I scholarship. The only way he would have gone to school, and Chad Mitchell was the only one that even gave him an opportunity to play. But after he did all this work with him, other guys said, there's no way with this back injury he's going to be able to do this. And Chad worked and did it. He did a miracle job with the guy. And that kid's life has changed forever because he got to play and got a Division I scholarship to the University of Southern Mississippi. He was a leading rusher. He rushed for 2,000 yards that year. Back-to-back years. It's unbelievable what the guy did. And thank you, Chad, for that. Wonderful doctor. And he can do that for you and anybody. Call Southern Orthopedics, make an appointment, go see Chad Mitchell. Does an incredible job. Bay Point Golf, Ryan Movey. I'll tell you what, let me tell you something about Ryan. Ryan's one of the finest men I know. You know, he coaches all the youth leagues, flag football, soccer, you name it, he does it. He coaches year-round because he loves kids. And he's the kind of coach we want out there. He's very positive with the players that play for him love him. They enjoy it. And that's what you want. I really appreciate what he does there and the job he does at Bay Point. Everybody lives out there so much happier now that he's back. Does a great job at Bay Point. Also, Rudy's Barbecue on Bat Beach Road. Jeremy, if you've ever had a better barbecue or turkey sandwich, and you like the turkey sandwich like me, or you the barbecue?
I do. I like that turkey out there.
Yeah. Tommy bought all kind of them for Christmas.
Well, Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving was
turkey
good.
Turkey and ham.
Yeah. I hadn't had their ham yet. I know turkey's incredible. All right, we'll be right back. We're going to call to Coach Patton. Hopefully, Coach Patton, he's got a state championship game today. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Yep.
ESPN Northwest Florida is your radio home for live and local sports coverage. For the most high school and college sports from right here in our local area, it's the Coach James Hale Show, weekday mornings 7 till 9. Then the ride home is alive and kicking with the afternoon underdogs, covering the gamut of sports. Plus, the radio home for the defending world champion Atlanta Braves. Your local sports station is ESPN Northwest Florida.
We paid how much for those lessons?
Shh. She's doing great.
Oh, yeah, totally. Can you pass me a Pepsi Zero Sugar? Great job, honey! Oh, look at that. That's not the end.
No way. Now it's time for the encore.
You know what? You're right. 5 times? Not enough times.
For everyone who traded in rock concerts for their kids' recitals, you've compromised enough. Pepsi Zero Sugar. That's what I like.
Here is your ice-cold Pepsi Zero Sugar, sir.
Oh, thanks. Wanna watch the game?
Ooh, little sports ball on a Sunday afternoon. Don't mind if I do. Hey, did we win? It sounds like we won.
It's still the first quarter.
I must be lucky. People say that about me. Tough break on that free throw there. Shouldn't be doing that.
Dude, we're watching football. Come on.
For everyone who spent the entire game explaining the entire game, you've compromised enough. Pepsi Zero Sugar. That's what I like.
Living on the Gulf Coast, we have beautiful beaches, clear water, and amazing marine life. Want to bring a piece of the ocean into your home or office with an amazing aquarium? Gulf Coast Aquarium, the area's only certified platinum CChem dealer. Their staff are all certified CChem specialists. Gulf Coast Aquarium can install, design, maintain, and finance your own piece of the Gulf. Gulf Coast Aquarium, powered by CChem, with over 40 years as a U.S.-based manufacturer of quality aquarium products. Online at GulfCoastAquarium.com. Gulf Coast Aquarium, where it's more than just a tank.
From the Vortex Springs to the Bear Paw Canoe Trail. From Shell Island to 30A. We're your home for live sports. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michaels studio. ESPN Northwest Florida.
We wrote that for Coach Patton a long time ago. We knew he was going to do some great things. All right, we're back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Tommy Sandemont, Jeremy Pritchett. Now we bring on the coach, the man, Coach Patton. Coach, how you doing this morning?
Man, I'm doing pretty good. How are you guys?
Well, I don't know. Now, you kind of scared us a little bit yesterday. Now, I didn't like that 4-zip late in the game, and then all of a sudden y'all blow them out 8-4. Talk about it. What happened? I guess when I called you and texted you and got you fired up, woke you up, I guess. Do I get any credit for that during the game, calling you?
Yeah, you get full credit. Full credit.
Tell us what happened.
Well, we made a couple errors. I think we made 2 or 3 errors in those first 2 innings. They were doing a good job putting the ball in play against Jeremy. And then, we had a 2-out error, and then they hit a double in the first to score 1. And then we were about to get out of a jam in I guess it was the 2nd or 3rd inning, and they hit a little ball up the middle, and we just kind of bounced off our glove, and they scored 2 there, and then we misplayed. We had a miscommunication on a steal that they had, and they scored their 4th run, and so we just had to kind of steady the ship. We had runners on, we had some chances to score early, and didn't. We had runners at 2nd and 3rd and the 4th, I think, and hit a hard ground ball to 3rd that they kind of bobbled and threw over to 1st, and their first baseman made an unbelievable pick on a short hop that, honestly, I'm not sure how he picked it, but he did. And I can't say that I wasn't in my mind going, here we go again, because a play just like that happened to us about, I don't know, a couple times ago in the Final Four, and we just kind of steadied the ship. We were just telling them in the dugout if we could score 1, we could score 10. Yeah. So we just had to find a way to get 1 on the board. And once we scored 1, you could kind of feel the tension release a little bit, and we just started playing again.
So Coach, this is Jeremy here. One, congratulations on making it to this place. Very few teams in the state still playing baseball right now, so kudos to you and your ball club. It is an interesting matchup here where you got Holmes County not too far from where you are there. At Bozeman, you've got a lot of common opponents, but you haven't played each other. Any reason for that in terms of just not scheduling? Not that far of a trip up to Bonifay, but here you are meeting 7 hours away from us.
Yeah, I don't really have a good answer why we don't play. I would like for some of the better 1A teams in proximity to play each other a little bit, but for whatever reason, I guess the schedules don't work out. But we'd be in favor of such in the future. But we know a little bit about them. We were actually lucky enough to some of the games we went and watched because we were scouting Chipley and Cottondale pretty hard going into the playoffs. And a couple of times, some of the games we watched, they were playing Holmes County. So we got a good look at them, and we saw them yesterday. We got the good thing about playing the 4:00 game was after we won, we were able to watch the next game, the Fort White Holmes County game. So we've got a little bit of information on them, which I'm sure they've got plenty on us too. I don't think people have a problem giving up information on us. So it's a pretty even matchup, I think, for the most part. They swing it pretty well, play good defense, have good pitching, and we kind of do the same. I think we've probably been the two most consistent teams in 1A all year, and it's probably a fitting matchup for a championship game. I think the right two teams are in it.
What about who's on the hill today? Are you letting that be known yet, or are you still deciding?
Yeah, we're going to throw Derek Hancock. He's pretty much been our number 2 pitcher all year, and he's had a great year. He's got a low ERA. He throws a lot of strikes, mixes pitches. He can be a little deceptive with his delivery. So I think batters feel like he's throwing harder than he really is, and we're just looking for him to go out and just pitch. And the good thing about pitching Derek is Jeremy gets to play defense, and when he's out there defensively, he's about as good as anybody. So he plays short, and it solidifies our middle infield a little bit.
Now, who's designated home team tonight?
We will be. We're the top seed, so we'll be the home team in the third base dugout.
Okay.
Hey Jeff, Tommy Sam, congratulations, man.
Thanks, Coach. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Holmes County, I assume they'll be pitching their number 2 guy tonight.
There's some. They got 2 guys they like. They got a kid named Colby Jones who is their shortstop also, who they didn't pitch last night, and he's going to Northwest Florida State. He's going as a position player, not a pitcher, but he's a highly competitive kid and really one of their better pitchers too. So I'm not sure who they consider their number 1 or number 2, but I know they've got him and a couple other guys. I don't know. Sometimes in coaching, when you got guys who are your better defensive players, sometimes it's hard to pitch them, because it leaves you a little weak in the infield, and I know defense is such a strong thing. So honestly, I don't really know what they're going to do. We're kind of preparing to see Colby, but we know they got a couple other guys we might see. We're kind of at this point in the year. We've played so many games. We've played a really tough schedule, so we've seen guys that throw hard and guys that throw good curveballs. So we're prepared. It's just a matter of going out and playing.
And I've got an answer to you're about playing some of those other local close by 1A teams. Who would want to come and play? Who would want to come play Bozeman anyway?
I don't know, but those guys are pretty good too. So,
you know how those coaches are; they don't want to go in there and play Bozeman.
Well, and with these new ranking system too, to get in the playoffs, scheduling can be tricky. So I completely understand all of that, but maybe we can get some games on the dockets in the future.
Yeah.
What time do y'all play tonight? 6 o'clock our time or 7?
Yeah. 6 o'clock our time, 7 Eastern.
All right. I know you got to hate it. You got all day long the kids sitting around thinking getting ready to play for a state championship. What will you guys be doing? How are you going to break it down today? Give us a little rundown.
Well, the beauty of teenagers is they sleep till noon. So,
that's true.
That's one thing that will work in I think both of our advantages, us and Holmes County. So we're just going to let them sleep. And then we'll wake them up around noon, and we'll probably go get a slightly later lunch. Come back to the hotel just to kill a little time and get out of here, get out of the hotel a little bit. We'll probably get back to the hotel. We'll probably have a team meeting, kind of go over what we know, some things to expect, what we want to try to accomplish today. And then we got to get over to the stadium they've got a set schedule for us at the stadium, so we got to get there about 2 hours early. So we'll get over there and jump through all the hoops they want us to jump through and get ready to play. I'm thankful this game's at 7 and not 4 because it was hot. It was hot at 4 o'clock, and we had to be there at 2. So being on the field, there's not a lot of shade on those practice fields. So we just tried to kind of be up, moving around a little bit. We tried not to do too much so that we could be as fresh as we could for the game. But hopefully, being the 7 o'clock game, the heat won't be a factor. But it was definitely a factor yesterday.
Yeah. Now, what would happen? They've known for having electrical storms down there. Will they get it played tonight if they have any kind of bad weather, or they make you come back tomorrow?
I really don't know. I would assume they'll do everything they can to get it in tonight. I know when we were in 2016, we actually played the 7 o'clock game, and there was some delays. I think a couple of games went long, and then there was some weather. So I think our 7 o'clock game didn't actually start until like 9 or 9:30.
Right.
And we didn't get done till around midnight. It was actually an extra inning game. So I think they'll do everything they can to get it in. Now, I don't, if it gets to be a certain time at night, they might go ahead and push it to the next day. But that I'm not sure of.
With it being a night game, after the game, are you guys heading back, or are you going to spend one more night down there?
No, we'll leave first thing in the morning.
Okay.
We kind of had that set up. If things didn't go well yesterday, we would have been leaving this morning and things went well, so we'll be leaving Friday morning.
And that costs money. Again, give out the information how we can help you guys out.
Yeah, we're so thankful for everybody in the community. But, yeah, it's Bozeman Baseball Boosters at Gmail is our PayPal account. Anybody can feel free to make a donation to that. And also, if anybody wants to stop by the school with cash or check, they're welcome to. Or if they want to put a check in the mail and to Dean Bozeman School, attention Bozeman Baseball, we'll get it exactly where it needs to go and put it towards these expenses.
Real quick, anything else you want to tell everybody out there? They can, never mind. I can't say that. I'll get in trouble. You can watch it online. You can watch the game online.
You can stream it live.
Yeah,
yes, you can.
Yeah, you can do that.
Home and away, you can stream it live.
How was the crowd? Did you have a lot of people from Bay County there last night or yesterday afternoon?
You know, it seemed like quite a few people. You know, mostly family. You know, family of the players and friends and stuff. I actually had one of my best friends from Fort Lauderdale drive up. He came up, and I think I may actually have a couple more come today. But no, yeah, it was. I would imagine that there'll be a few more people probably making the trip today. I think sometimes people wait to see if you win the first one.
Right.
So I got a feeling we may have some students and possibly some other Bozeman fans making the trek down today. But, yeah, no, it wasn't too bad. Dixie County had a few. Holmes County appeared to have quite a few last night for their game. So it should be a spirited crowd.
Well, I tell you now, I got to be careful because they listen to us over there in Holmes County. But we'd like to have a state championship right here in Bay County. And, we love the people in Holmes County too. But, hey, be safe, man. Do the best you can.
Sir.
And we're proud of you. We'll talk to you tomorrow morning either way, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys. We certainly appreciate it.
Go get them,
buddy. Thank you. Yes, sir.
All right, buddy. Coach Patton. They got a state championship game tonight. I feel good about it. I think they're going to do really well. But, we're talking about that, Jeremy. The cost to travel now is crazy. The fuel, the paying for the bus driver, the hotels, everything's going through the roof. And we've got to help these teams. You're kind of like you're punished, Tommy, if you do well because the county can only pay so much to each school for travel and everything else. So we're going to have to help people in the community, going to have to help out. So if y'all can do it anyway, I don't care if it's $5, $10, $20, or whatever, go by Bozeman, give them some money, write them a check, give them cash, whatever. Just make sure you give it to the people in the front office. You want it for baseball, Bozeman baseball, to help to pay for the cost to go into the state championship. Wouldn't that be pretty cool? We'll get another state championship baseball program here from Bay County back-to-back years.
I wouldn't doubt it. I think, Jeff, I think they're going to do well. I really do.
Have we ever had back-to-back state championship in baseball?
No.
I don't.
Not since I've been.
And you've been here for a long time.
Yeah,
I don't any sport.
Mosley wanted that. When Doug was.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago.
Now, the only school that can really man up and do something like that is Arnold Weightlifting.
Yeah, that's true now. Arnold Weightlifting.
I got to get that in there. Anyway, all right, let's talk about some of our great people. Blue Sky Express Car Wash. You want your vehicle to look brand new. You want that Santa Mont truck to look like it's showroom ready. Go try it. You'll love it. And by the $19.99, you can get it washed every single day for 1 month. Newbies, you have to wait. I'll talk about newbies in just a second. Dr. Ward, he's in here all the time. If you're listening right now in Northwest Florida, there's an office near you. 1 in 5 develop skin cancer. If it doesn't look right, doesn't feel right, please do not put it off. Go get checked. Make it save your life. Dr. Ward does an incredible job. He's in here every Wednesday. And don't forget about Paparazzi Gourmet Deli. Tommy, we went down there and had a wonderful time with Glenn Manley, Vandergris. That was a great time. John, retired police officer, does so many great things. But that was a big community deal they had that night.
Yeah, it was. There was a lot of people there.
I do remember Glenn taking everything home with him.
Yeah, he did that.
Yeah, try Paparazzi Gourmet Deli. You'll love it. We'll be right back. Jeremy Pridgett, Tommy Santamont, FSU's on deck, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida. Here's what's happening.
It's the Rudu Music Experience this Saturday in downtown Panama City. A celebration of New Orleans cuisine, spirits, and music from the Big Easy to the edge of St. Andrews Bay. Gates open at 11. More information at rudu.com. And to claim a free family 4-pack of wristbands to the Rudu Music Experience, open the ESPN Northwest Florida app.
Good Thursday morning. I'm forecasting mostly sunny skies, warm temperatures today in the mid-80s, a southwest wind about 10 to 15. Partly to mostly cloudy overnight in the low 70s. Water temperature in the Gulf of Mexico is 78. Partly sunny Friday, maybe a thunderstorm. This weather forecast has been brought to you by KHS and Associates, your source for affordable medical insurance. For 104.3 and 102.1 ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
Los Rancheros has been doing it right for 20 years. Los Rancheros brings a top-shelf dining experience to you with the opening of their beautiful new building. Watch all college and pro games on Los Rancheros' 14 large-screen TVs with great drink specials daily from 2 to 5 and during all the games. Los Rancheros, the place for live sports and great food on 23rd Street between Jenks and Harrison.
Dr. Chad Mitchell, orthopedic surgeon specializing in sports medicine and joint replacement of the knee, shoulder, and hip. He serves our local athletes and our community. Southern Orthopedic Specialist has been the leader in orthopedic care for over 20 years. New patients are welcome. Call 850-769-KNEE to schedule an appointment. More about Dr. Mitchell and Southern Orthopedic Specialist is available on their website, southernorthopedic.com. Southern Orthopedic, getting you back in the game.
Now you can interact with the Coach James Hale Show live in the J. Michaels Studios. Download the new 104.3 ESPN app at the Apple Store and Google Play. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show, powered by Pepsi. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Do it, James. We're back, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Jeremy, you see this picture? This is on Deion Sanders reacts to Nick Saban's lie regarding NIL. I'm telling you, he opened up. This is going to be. This is what everybody's going to be talking about the next couple of days. It's going to be crazy. Anyway, we're back. I want to thank Tommy for coming in today and do our FSU update. Our FSU update is brought to you every day by John and Charlotte McVeigh. They do a wonderful job. They own Newbies, 3 great locations. Newbies 2 on the Curve. You can go watch the Atlanta Braves, whatever you want to do down there. They got TVs on everywhere. It's been remodeled. It's beautiful there. The mothership now has been, they've got food. You can actually buy there so you don't have to leave at night. You can stay there and have a wonderful time. All right, Tommy, what do you got for us on Florida State?
Well, the big thing is not a whole lot of stuff, information going on. There's the big thing going on is softball. We have FSU hosting Mississippi State, South Florida, and Howard, and that will start this Friday. And FSU their record is 52-5, and they're the number 1 seed in the entire NCAA tournament as we start into the postseason for them. And it'll be Mississippi State and South Florida. And Mississippi State is 33-24, and South Florida is 44-14. Howard's 31-22, the records. So FSU will have the nightcap after Mississippi State and South Florida plays. Then they'll take on Howard, and you never know. Everybody thinks, well, FSU will win that. You don't. South Florida's not bad. 44-14 is not a bad record. And Mississippi State being in the SEC, you never know. Who's going to play, and it takes 1 or 2 errors, and you've got an L. So, but anyway, that's starting this Friday. So if you want to see some great softball, travel over to Tallahassee, and that first game, I think it starts at 6 o'clock, and then right after that they'll have the night game with FSU and Howard. Getting to a little bit about football, there is a kid that FSU is after, along with everybody else in the world. Darren Reed, he's from Columbus, Georgia, Carver. This is football now. He's a 4-star defensive lineman. He's going to make his commitment July the 4th. He's a 6'5", 260-pound kid that plays at Columbus, Carver, which is a well-known high school football school. And the information is that Ohio State and FSU is the 2. He's been to FSU about 3 or 4 times, so he's real familiar with them and being there a lot. And he's got an official set for June the 21st with FSU. So that will be something to look out. He would be a good catch for FSU. And they offered a transfer from the portal to Monte Tucker Dorsey. He's from James Madison. He's a redshirt senior linebacker. He has 1 year of eligibility. This kid, now listen, he's 5'10", 214 pounds for a linebacker. 5'10" is kind of short for a linebacker. But this kid this last season had 116 tackles, had 4 interceptions.
5'10"?
Yes, 5'10", had 4 interceptions. So,
Lord.
I mean, he undoubtedly they like him a lot, so they've offered him. And, this June will start heating up with the recruiting part of it, so we'll have to wait and see. And I pulled this off, I think it was on Facebook. This is some of the records that they don't think will be broken. And
there's FSU records?
Yeah, there was 9 records there. Yeah. And I'm going to just give you a couple of them. We'll do them some other time. But some of the ones that the 1964 defensive team at FSU, 1964. Heck, I just graduated from high school. They allowed 181 yards rushing, 181 total yards, 7.7 points per game. That was what they averaged that year. And since 2010, only one other team has held their opponents under 240 yards, and that would be 2011 Alabama.
Roll Tide.
And so FSU finished 9-1-1 that season. But you say, well, they probably didn't play anybody. This is who they played. They played Miami, TCU, New Mexico, Kentucky, Georgia, Southern Miss, North Carolina State, Florida, and played Oklahoma. So they played some pretty good teams. Yeah. So that was in
1964. They played
1964. Yeah. And then of course I'm gonna just try to pick some of these out. Ron Sellers in receiving. We all know who Ron Sellers was. In 1968, he had in one game he had 14 passes caught for 240 yards, 5 touchdowns against Wake Forest.
And that's 1968 when nobody was throwing the ball.
Right.
That's crazy.
5 touchdowns. Of course, he was such a great player that he was targeted so many times, and just did great. And Dale McCullers, everybody, if you're an FSU fan, you remember Dale McCullers. 1968 again, he had 29 tackles in a game against Texas A&M. 29. And the week before, he had 26 tackles against Florida.
Good Lord.
So he was a one tackling machine there. And everybody knows Terrell Buckley, 1991. That year he had 12 interceptions. Terrell Buckley, 12 interceptions in 1 year. Most DBs don't get 12 in their whole career.
Yeah.
So, and everybody remembers Greg Allen, I think, from Milton, 1981. As a freshman, he had 322 yards rushing against Western Carolina.
How many yards?
322 yards in one game.
He was good. I remember him.
Yeah, and he had 32. He got 32 carries, averaging 10 yards. He also returned a kickoff for 95 yards in that game. So that's quite an accomplishment. And here's another one, 1992 offensive team at FSU. 858 yards of total offense, 40 first downs against Maryland. 40 first downs, 858 yards of total offense.
What year was that, Tommy?
That was in 1992. Okay. And that was against Maryland. They scored 69 points on Maryland. Charlie Ward, 26 of 37 for 395 yards. He rushed for 111 yards. Then we had 2 other backs, Clyde Allen, 103 yards rushing. Tiger McMillan, 70 yards. They only carried it 5 times each. So 40 first downs. I mean, that's the fast break offense in action right there. And the other, this is an incredible one to me. The 1984 special teams. They had 6 block punt touchdowns in one season. I can remember that. I can remember them. I said they
great
let them
athletes.
punt, boy.
Yeah,
let them punt.
Great athletes.
6 block punts for touchdowns. And, of course, everybody remembers Robert Aguayo, the kicker, 2013. He had 94 extra points in one season kicking. Never missed a one of them. Got them all. And the final thing is 1977, Ron Simmons. He forced 13 fumbles in a season, and he played in 11 games.
What year was it, 1977?
1977.
Yeah, I remember him.
Yeah, Ron Simmons. He turned into be one of them big pro wrestlers.
Yeah. Tommy, we I think it was 1977. We played them for homecoming in Harrisburg, and I remember looking on the field when he was out there, and he was like his arms.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what he benched, but that's the biggest. Yeah, I said that's one that we couldn't. Nobody could block that kid. It wasn't just us. Nobody played against Florida State could block him. But I do want to take one stat that, and they embarrassed us there that year too at home in Harrisburg. They beat us pretty good, but we got them back after I had left. I was coaching in Lake Wells, and we drove all the way after a game to Tallahassee, spent the night, and played Florida State in Tallahassee on regional TV, ABC. We beat them. I think it was 58-14. You remember that in 1981? Was it 1981?
I think so. I was
Reggie Collier, Sammy Winder. I mean, I was Sammy. It was Reggie. I forgot the running back we had. But Reggie Collier, y'all couldn't stop him. He ran that trap option, sprint out passing. We killed Florida State in Tallahassee. Sure, and we didn't we kind of put the gas on the pedal like Bobby did to us. Because I remember talking to some coaches after the game, and they were like, I said, wow. And they said, yeah, we remember when he put it on us in Hattiesburg. And I said, yep. And he did. I mean, he did. Coach Bowden. But he would say, half that problem's you, not me.
Yeah, right. That's what he'd say. Exactly.
But I tell you what, I enjoyed that because they did beat our tails in 77 at home. And we played them another time. I think it was 78. When did y'all go to the Orange Bowl? We had y'all beating Tallahassee again. It was like 14-3. They blocked a kick. They ran a punt back or something. They beat us like 17-14 in Tallahassee. And I think y'all won every game that year and lost Oklahoma in the Orange Bowl.
Probably.
Yeah. I think it was in 78. I want to say 78.
Might have been 78.
But anyway, I want to thank John Sharp for the FSU update and thank Tommy for doing that. If you want to have a great time, get out to all newbies. 3 great locations. I'll tell you, they do a great job down there. Don't forget about Rudy's Barbecue on Bat Beach Road, the best barbecue sandwich you get anywhere. The turkey's incredible. And the back room, the Rudy Tootie's back room is incredible. Go see Ethan and tell him Coach Hale sent you. El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill, the newest and best restaurant, Mexican food in Bay County. Heck, I'll say Bay County. Go try it. It's right across from the Navy base. We'll be right back. Talk with Jeremy Pridgeon, Alabama, 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Giannis is the best player in the world. That doesn't change with the fact that he had a bad day and lost. I think he wore down from carrying that team practically by himself against that extraordinary defense and all those bodies the Celtics throw at him. But to me, the Middleton factor is undersold, and Giannis is clearly the best player in the world.
Greeny, weekdays 2 to 4, ESPN Northwest Florida.
We paid how much for those lessons?
Shh. She's doing great.
Oh, yeah, totally. Can you pass me a Pepsi Zero Sugar? Great job, honey! Oh, look at that. That's not the end.
No way. Now it's time for the encore.
You know what? You're right. 5 times? Not enough times.
For everyone who traded in rock concerts for their kids' recitals, you've compromised enough. Pepsi Zero Sugar. That's what I like.
Here is your ice-cold Pepsi Zero Sugar, sir.
Oh, thanks. Wanna watch the game?
Ooh, little sports ball on a Sunday afternoon. Don't mind if I do. Hey, did we win? It sounds like we won.
It's still the first quarter.
I must be lucky. People say that about me. Tough break on that free throw there. Shouldn't be doing that.
Dude, we're watching football. Come on.
For everyone who spent the entire game explaining the entire game, you've compromised enough. Pepsi Zero Sugar. That's what I like.
At Slim Chickens, craft means something. Craft means bacon. And oh, so crispy. Craft means a good cayenne kick. And all-natural buttermilk marinated, made fresh, perfectly fried chicken. All served on toasted brioche buns. At Slim Chickens, craft means quality. And for a limited time, try our new Memphis-style barbecue chicken sandwich. Try Slim's Craft sandwiches today. Slim Chickens.
Atlanta Braves play here. WGSX Lynn Haven, WTOT, W271DM Mariana. Powered by Pepsi. ESPN Northwest Florida. Put down your natural light. It's time for the Alabama Update. The Alabama Update, weekday mornings at 8. On the Coach James Hale Show at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Oh, Tide. That's Alabama Update brought to you by Stevenson Air Conditioning. The heat is here. It's not coming. It's here full force. It's crazy. It's going to get worse as the season goes on. Make sure you get serviced about every 6 months. It'll last longer, run better, saves you money. If you got an old beat-up one, all it does is run and cost money every month. That power bill is going crazy. Get rid of it. Call Stevenson Air Conditioning. I tell you what, if it breaks down during the middle of the night, call Stevenson Air Conditioning. They'll get out there quickly, and they'll solve all issues. Thank you, Stevenson Air Conditioning, for the Alabama Update. All right, Jeremy, what do you got? I'm sorry I kind of stole your thunder a little bit, but I do things like that. But what do you got for Bama today?
Well, we talked a little name and likeness. We'll get back to that in a little bit. First thing I want to talk about starting to learn a little bit about the schedule for the season. We always go through and try to pick out where game day is going to show up and what might be the prime time CBS game under the current contract. Well, we've got a rare situation with Alabama playing out in Austin, and so Fox has announced that they're going to air the broadcast. And I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant here. One, it's the first time that we've had to play on Fox since 2009, which is a really good thing. Fox does a lot of NFL stuff, and it's like every time they show a college game, they have to educate the population as if we're watching a college game for the first time and explain the real differences to us. We know these things. They don't.
It's the SEC, baby. It's the SEC. Yeah.
So, because Fox has the game, their big game is this big noon kickoff. There's a real concern that this is going to be an 11 a.m. kick from Austin, which the Texas fans don't like. This is the first time in 100 years that Alabama has played at Texas. The last time was 1922, so it's a huge game from just a traditional power standpoint. It's the first time that they have played since the BCS championship game that was held in Pasadena at the Rose Bowl Stadium. That was Saban's first title at Alabama. So Sarkisian, the former OC, now the head coach. I mean, all these little storylines, former players for Alabama, Billingsley, and now A.G. Hall. We got to talk about that one maybe a little bit. They're having transferred to Texas. But what it reminded me of hearing that Fox has this ball game coach. Remember back in the 90s, you'd be coaching the game on Friday night, and Saturday morning you're probably running film somewhere to get back for the 11 o'clock Jefferson Pilot kickoff.
Yes, it did.
And you had Dave, and if you had the 11 o'clock kick and you're Alabama, somehow you found yourself struggling mightily to beat Vanderbilt. I mean, it's just the weirdest sort of mojo around that 11 o'clock Jefferson Pilot kickoff. That's what this is going to feel like if Fox shows this at 11 o'clock.
And I told, yesterday we were talking about it, and I said 11 o'clock kickoff as a player, I used to hate the Saturday morning scrimmages. Back when we played, Tommy, you remember this, the big game was at 1:30. You played Legion Field against Alabama or Auburn, Jordan Hare, you play at 1:30. Or you play like a 5 or something like that. And now, think about if, like us living down here in the Panhandle, if the game was being played in Tuscaloosa. You can't. You'd have to go spend a night somewhere up in there, like Birmingham. Still got to drive over from Birmingham. I just hate the 11 o'clock kickoffs. I hate it. Well, I like watching the game 11 at home, but I feel bad for the players. FSU, I hate when FSU plays 11.
And FSU seems to be stuck in this 11 or 7 type situation. Occasionally they'll get a 2:30, but the Big Ten has been the one to kind of buck being pulled into the television as much. They are now allowing night games in November. They used to never allow that. But the thinking is with a 2 o'clock kickoff that you can drive in from 4 to 5 hours away even, get to the stadium, be there, watch the game, and drive home. And what we're seeing now is a game, you're talking about people going because of the cost of travel. If you're having to add a hotel room overnight and 3 meals for lodging on that, the cost of just going to a football game has gone through the roof.
And you can't get certain SEC schools. You can't get hotel rooms in those towns unless you want to pay Even then, you can't get them. It costs so much money. It's crazy.
Yeah.
You got to stay outside, like we stay in Birmingham.
So, so there's a petition underway to try to see that Fox will show that in prime time, and
wasting time.
I just don't think it's going to happen. So, I think it's going to be a big noon kickoff on Alabama.
It's going to be
Texas.
hot in Austin, Texas, at 11 o'clock in the morning. And it's going to get hot as the game goes on.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Be brutal there. So,
is this set up for Alabama getting beat? I mean, Fox TV, 11 o'clock kickoff on the road, in the heat, no neutral site game, not a home game. Alabama usually doesn't play week one.
Has Fox named who the analyst who's going to be calling the game?
That named who's going to call it.
That'll be interesting to see.
Irvin will be one of them.
That'll be interesting.
So stay tuned. More drama around that one. But first true non-conference road game for Alabama since going to Penn State back in 2011. So this is a shift in the scheduling, too. We're going to see a lot more of these. We've got a trip to Tallahassee, Tommy, coming up. We go to Tampa next year and play South Florida in a 2-for-1. So you're going to see.
Tommy already promised tickets to the Florida State Alabama game.
I'm so excited with all my FSU contacts here. I feel really good.
I'll wear FSU shirt for that one.
Shifting to the spring here a little bit, baseball has been disappointing. They have just about played themselves out of any consideration for the tournament. They host Arkansas this weekend. Arkansas is number 5 in the nation. They had a tough weekend against Auburn, lost 2, and then the last game was declared a no contest by the Southeastern Conference because of weather issues, and there's some conference rules on getaway games on the third day, when it's travel for the other team, that you can't play past a certain time in terms of delays. So that last game was washed out. But we said they needed to get one, and they didn't get either. That actually counted as a ball game. And with Arkansas coming in, I think they stand the likelihood of dropping their last 5 to finish the season.
You pretty feel comfortable they'll be playing on Tuesday in Birmingham for the.
Yeah, I think so. If you look at where they're kind of slated, they're in that next 4 out group in terms of the tournament. So the tournament will wrap them up. I don't think even winning the tournament, the only way they get them in there. So, but it should be a good scene in Hoover. Alabama softball. They are the number 6 seed in the NCAA women's tournament. They dropped game 1 in the SEC tournament to Missouri. Now, that was the 4th straight time they had played Missouri. They actually ended the season with Missouri, and then when the brackets came out, Alabama and Missouri were paired off again, and Missouri got them.
I don't like that.
Yeah, it's just one of those little quirks that how it worked out. But this is the 23rd consecutive NCAA tournament for Alabama softball. Yeah, we talk about Alabama 23rd consecutive.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, Patrick Murphy, who was just inducted in Alabama Coaches Hall of Fame there, has really just been consistent across the board. And they'll host a 4-team regional. You've got UT Chattanooga as the 4 seed coming in. And then the brackets offset by Stanford coming out of the Pac-12 and Murray State. Now, you may have seen this last night. Murray State ladies were on their way down, and they were in a traffic accident. Sent 3 to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. But Coach Murphy tweeted out that Murray State was coming in. They were involved in a traffic incident, and I have not heard if it's going to impact anything with the start time. They're supposed to play the Cardinal in the 2-3 game, but the winner of the Tuscaloosa regional will get the winner of the Knoxville regional in a potential Alabama-Tennessee knockout round in the super regional. Now, that's one thing I don't like. If you look at the brackets, they have basically set up an SEC team to go home, and there's no other bracket where you would have, if the top seeds win, 2 conferences having to send one of their teams home. But they've set it up where the Alabama and Tennessee could meet. If Alabama wins, Tennessee wins, that super regional would be in Tuscaloosa. So they get to play at home in the 6-11.
Yeah. Wow.
So hopefully the Murray State team be able to come on in.
You know James Spann? He posted. I saw that his post about that wreck. Did they have bad weather? I don't think they did.
I don't. Yeah. I just heard that there were 3 that went to the hospital, and think about how much travel that these teams do, and you know,
I guess they take buses to all these games, right?
yeah, they're gonna drive
Especially
in.
schools like that, they can't afford to
Yeah,
fly
I mean,
in.
UT Chattanooga is going to drive down from Chattanooga, and I mean, obviously Stanford got on the plane.
How's the
to fly.
pitcher doing? I hadn't heard much about it this year like I've done in the past.
You know, Fouts threw a great game against Missouri, and then just a couple little miscues. The team has not peaked yet, and maybe their best is still in front of them. It feel like they're just a player away or a play away. I mean, you know, Florida State, who's also hosting a regional this weekend, you know, they played Alabama in the mid-season and went up to Tuscaloosa and got a W. And, you know, Florida State just seems to be a little bit more complete ball team than Alabama. Not that the ladies can't put it together, but they've just had the lapses that we have not been accustomed to seeing. So, and in terms of you know, name and likeness piece, that's the other thing hanging around the football program for now, and what those implications will look like, as we've said earlier, you know, in the show, will remain to be seen. But I think Saban has stirred the pot, and you know, one thing we know about Saban, nothing is uncalculated.
Yeah, you're right.
So
You're right.
there was a reason why that came up last night, and you know, sometimes the reasons aren't exactly clear, but you know, you can take one question and he opens up and vectors to where he wants to go with it, which is exactly, you know, where we were in that 6-minute response.
Why are you doing this?
Yeah, but now you said he was speaking
Business
among
folks.
business leaders. So, I mean, I can see why he would do that, because he's challenged them. Look, if they can do it over there, we can do it here.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sure.
Bring those checks, boys.
Yeah, right. Send them in.
All right, Jeremy, thank you for the Alabama update brought to you by Stevenson Air Conditioning. I tell you what now, we all know Chuck Tucker does an incredible job. The big rulers, they all use Chuck Tucker. You know, his daddy was the principal at Mosley. Great family. They've been in Bay County forever. They own South Oak Title and Closing. They got a great office there on Panama City Beach, Back Beach Road. Also right over here on Highway 77. Go by and see them. Give them a call. Hey, it's your money. It's your deal. Demand Chuck Tucker, South Oak Title. When you go to closing, you don't want any surprises, no hiccups, and you never will with Chuck Tucker. Give them a call and use them. Tell them Coach tells you to. Also, don't forget about Max Fit Sports Nutrition. Do you want to look better, feel better? Go by and see Jason Kovaleski. We're going to set you up, Tommy. That's stuff you got to get. That fish oils, things.
CoQ10.
Yeah, we're going to get you some of those from Max Fit. Jason does a great job. Dr. Ward, 1 in 5 develop skin cancer. If it doesn't look right, feel right, please go by and see him and take care of him. All right, we'll be right back. Auburn update, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida. It's the Dan Patrick Show.
When the Suns started mocking Luka, and I thought, God, but you're watching, and I kept going, where are the Suns? Remember, it was 2-0. And then I thought, okay, maybe Dallas gets 1 or 2 wins out of this. And, you know, give credit to what Dallas has done offensively and defensively.
The Dan Patrick Show.
Weekday mornings, 9 to 11 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good Thursday morning. I'm forecasting mostly sunny skies, warm temperatures today in the mid-80s, a southwest wind about 10 to 15. Partly to mostly cloudy overnight in the low 70s. Water temperature in the Gulf of Mexico is 78. Partly sunny Friday, maybe a thunderstorm. This weather forecast has been brought to you by Mid-South Lumber, best little lumber yard in Panama City and Youngstown. For 104.3 and 102.1 ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
Chuck was terrible at fishing. He spent many frustrating hours attempting to get results he saw from internet videos, aggravating trial and error fishing trips, and misguided advice from well-intended friends. Chuck is happy now with his newfound success after he visited Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle, where we keep fishing fun, simple, and successful. See us soon at Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle, located directly off Highway 98 on the west end of Panama City Beach.
What's up, everybody? David Pollock here with Barbaritos. Did you know that Barbaritos has 35 farm fresh ingredients? That means you have over 3,000 entree combinations that you can put on your plate. Luckily, Barbaritos put together their 9 under 500 calorie menu, which features 9 different entrees that you can feel great about eating. Try the ground turkey salad with double protein, the mini chicken burrito, or my personal favorite Friday meal, fish tacos with guacamole. It's a winning play with Barbaritos.
Tiger fans, join us weekday mornings at 8:15. It's the Bay Point Golf Auburn Update on the Coach James Hale Show at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Whoa, Eagle! Hey, Martha, Kenny, James Gualama. You seen James lately? Y'all seen James?
Yeah.
Last night.
Good.
He was
Good.
at our
Tell him I said, hey. He ever say anything about us getting on to him about the Tigers?
He's pretty
He's
easy
pretty
going
good.
about it, yeah.
Did you hear what he told me? I can't say it in front of Jeremy. You know what he told me? So I'm not looking at him. You know what he said to Jeremy? He said, is it true? He said, I think he's charging Alabama alumni only 5%, everybody else 15%. I fell out of it. That was pretty good. Anyway, that was not true either. All right, let's get Auburn update. Brought to you by Bay Point Golf. You love golf. There's only one place to go. That's down at Bay Point. And Ryan Movey is a wonderful man. Does a great job down there. All right, Auburn Tigers. Jeremy, we talked about this. You worked in Montgomery. There's a big booster there, big alumni booster there. There's also one up near Birmingham, Yellowwood. Auburn's new president will meet with athletic director Alan Green in the coming weeks. The new president, Chris Roberts, will meet with Green and he wants to get a better understanding where Auburn is in athletics. Of course, he does this with all department heads that he meets with. We do this with everybody. Now, the deal is Green is now in his final year of a 5-year contract. Roberts was non-committed about the future of Auburn's athletic director when asked about that. Green has just complete his 5th-year deal at Auburn. His annual contract, Jeremy, is $625,000 a year. Not as much. I thought it would be more than that.
It's not bad.
Yeah, aren't most ADs making them close to $1 million now?
Not a whole bunch of them, I wouldn't think.
Yeah.
Well, depends on where you are, but 600,000 is not.
To live in Auburn, Alabama, $625,000 is a lot of money.
You can make it.
Now, the contract's going to expire January 31st, 2023, so it's not far away. I will say this. Well, this is what Green said. He's come to Auburn. He loves it there. His wife loves it. Entire family, they love Auburn. They're Auburn people now. And I will give him credit. Auburn basketball has been outstanding. Auburn baseball has been really good. Football's been up and down. We all know what happened last year. But he's done a lot of good for Auburn. He had the standalone football facility, which will be complete this fall. He had a lot to do with that. I thought he's done a pretty good job. I thought he was extremely quiet during all the scandal that was going on with Harsin, the little female employee there, and all the things were being said, and 90% of them were lies. Harsin overcomes it for now. Mm-hmm. Will he be there after this season? That's who knows what's going to happen with that. I think Green's in trouble. I'm just tell it like it is. I think he's a fine man. I think he's doing a really good job as athletic director. I still think he's got the two big boys upset. They've put their president in there. They didn't get what they wanted. The same football coaches there. Jeremy, I grew up in that state. Once they come after you, it's hard to overcome that at Alabama and at Auburn. Heck, at any school in the SEC. But what's your thoughts on it? I don't think it's going to be renewed unless Auburn's football team does something crazy this year.
You nailed it. The handwriting is on the wall, and it's interesting. You put the one caveat in there too that always throws a monkey wrench in the plans that are already in place, and that is if the football team goes and does something wild and crazy. And we've seen that a couple of times where.
Yeah. When you think they're out, they play well.
Gus Malzahn name ring a bell?
Seriously, talk about that. Every time you think they're going to be good, they're not as good. When you think they're done, they
look
do
out.
something. Yeah.
Put their back against the wall, and here they come. Yeah. And Malzahn, after he pulled one out of the hat and got him into the national championship game. I mean, he could pretty much walk in and say, that's going to be this amount.
Well, you
And he
said
did.
something earlier that this plays right into this NIL deal with these big time boosters giving big time money to the athletic department, the university,
They're
to the
going to
players.
have to be pacified.
They've got a lot of say what's going to happen. I mean, they got their guy in as the president of the university. I think he's in trouble. I really do. Come on in, Dave. Dave is here early. Come and stand, Big Dave.
Yeah.
What do you? But I'm with you. I think he's in trouble.
Oh yeah, it's going to be a non-renewal.
Yeah,
it won't be a termination.
And they'll get their guy in there that will do what? Bring and hire who they want as the football coach and coaches at Auburn.
Right.
I think that's going to happen. I really do. Tommy, what do you think?
Well, I was going to tell you about the athletic directors' salaries. It's in the SEC, it's over $1 million for AD, but the highest paid athletic director, you know where it is? Notre Dame, over $3 million a year. That's unbelievable.
I'm telling you, man, it's incredible the money they have up there. It's unreal.
That's
right now they're number one in the nation in recruiting. Yeah. Right now, they've opened the pocketbooks. They're doing what they got to do.
The lowest is Auburn and Georgia, a little over $600,000 ADs.
Yeah,
and it goes up to Alabama being number one.
Jeremy, does that surprise you? 5 years there, he never got an increase in pay. No. Never got a contract extension.
That sends its own signal.
Yeah, that kind of tells you there what's in the plan.
Getting the movers ready.
Yeah.
That's right.
Other news to Auburn, and this we all know this, that they've got to get some players in there. The three positions they're critical. They got to get ball players. They got to get some receivers in there. They're trying to address that. Defensive line. They got the guys they got that can play, really good football players. The problem, they have no backups. They just got a kid in here from Memphis. The kid's a pretty good football player. And then defensive backs. They're thin there. So they all know it. They're trying to address it. They've got to get players in there. If they get people go down with injuries, and you know in the SEC that's going to occur, but if they lose some key players, it's going to be a long year for Auburn. So this is good. They're addressing these issues. Joseph, the kid's name is Morris Joseph, will continue to play college football at Auburn. He had put in the portable at Memphis, Tennessee, plays for the Memphis Tigers. He is now going to play for the Auburn Tigers. Had a pretty good year last year. Good-sized kid, good pickup for Auburn. Tommy, I don't really know much about the kid. He did really good. 3 years at Memphis, 117 tackles, 10.5 tackles or sacks for that, 55 tackles last year, 10.5 tackles for loss, 7 sacks, All-American Athletic Conference, honorable mention. So he's a good football player. Yeah. And they look at his body size. They think he can play and fit and take the pounding in the SEC. Usually at Southern Mississippi, Memphis, some of these schools, the kids are a little bit shorter, a little bit lighter than you see at Alabama, Auburn, LSU, than the big boys. But this kid's got the body to do it. And they wouldn't be offering a scholarship if anything can come in and play. So this is a good pickup for Auburn.
And you got to have depth. That's the thing in college football. Good Lord.
Yeah.
They play 2 or 3 downs and they're out, and there comes somebody taking their place. You got to have that. If you don't, the latter parts of the game, you're going to be hurting.
Hey, you've been in this business for a long time. You've had to fire people, hire people, and everything else. When you keep changing coaches, like the situation with Auburn, it does look. You have the feel that they're going to make the change at the athletic director.
Probably so. Sounds like it.
When you get your president in there, the people that wanted the coach gone, it didn't happen. You've never gave the man a raise. You've never gave him an extension. To me, it just looks like they're showing him the door. Yeah. I could be wrong. But if they do get rid of him, they get their guy in, and good and well they'll get a new football coach. You talking about every time you change coaches, they're going to hurt them in recruiting. Like, why do you want to go to Auburn? Harson's not going to be there. Then you can say, well, look, they just got rid of Harson. They didn't like Gus. Now you're bringing somebody else in. Why do you want? He's not going to be there 3 years either.
Sounds like FSU to me.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that, Tommy. But anyway, all right. Hey, Auburn Update's been brought to you by Bay Point Golf. Dave, good to see you, man. Let's talk to you a little bit. Man, I was really concerned about you. I saw you Friday. American Charlotte was packed out Friday night. Julie and I were in there, had a granddaughter. I saw you in there. Everything's going great. I get home. I get a text from Jeremy. He goes, "Do you see what's going on at Firefly?" I was like, "What the heck?" Tell us what happened.
Well, we had a fire that broke out behind one of our exterior signs, and it just we don't know how or why, but in a nutshell, just we saw some smoke out there, and when I was actually at American Charlie, and somebody told me to saw some smoke, and so I went running down there, and I said, "Oh boy, this is more than just a little bit of smoke." And so we went ahead and called 911, and I ran up on the roof thinking maybe I could put it out, grabbed a fire extinguisher, and got up there and realized I was the most helpless feeling in the world because first off, I had my dress shoes on, so I got up on the roof and had that TPO was really slick and it rained earlier. So I went, ass over elbows with the fire extinguisher. Now you get up there and you see the smoke, and it was obviously, under the ceiling, so we couldn't get to it till the fire department got there. They had to, break through the ceiling or break through the roof to actually get to where the flames were at. And, thank God they got there relatively quickly and were able to get it out and pretty much contain it to the exterior. We had some smoke damage inside and, on the inside. It was sad because everybody had to leave, people had just got their steaks or fish or sushi right in front of them and saw y'all got to go right now. So, but with the help of my great staff and a great remediation crew and my contractor, we got it all put back together and opened back up on Tuesday night.
Did they say what started the fire, Dave?
They just think it was some sort of electrical wire. Don't know if a squirrel chewed through something or just one of those things. Firefly. Yeah.
Firefly. That was. Yeah. I couldn't believe it. I stayed up just watching the news to make sure. I think Julie texted you to find out everything good.
What I find is funny is y'all talking about how hot it is in Austin at noon. You've been to Bryant Denny at 2:30 in September. It's no picnic either. You know what I mean? So
they were not feeling this.
Y'all whining about that. It's like, wait a minute, it's not 72 and sunny. Yeah,
it was him. Him. All right, hey, listen, we got a break coming up. We get back with Visit Dave some more. Dave, we were talking about first responders, American Charlie. This is what you guys are all about, 10% discounts for all those guys. And they were there at Firefly, risking their life to helping out and doing things. Talk about that. They responded quickly. They did a great job.
Yeah, that was it wasn't just a couple fire trucks that showed up. I mean, they had all of Beach Fire was there, Bay County Fire, Panama City Fire, the Navy Fire. Wow. I mean, there was 14 fire trucks there, and I was like, thought it was a little overkill. It's like, who's watching the rest of the city? And they said, well, Walton County sent 3 units over, so it was like, night. So yeah, it was.
Dave.
I guess they had no idea how big it was going to be, so
No, that wasn't it. Hell, they know you're on with me.
That's it, exactly. Yeah. Wanted to make sure I made it here Thursday. Yeah.
Anyway, get out there to Firefly, have a great time, and the American Charlie, the newest restaurant, and everybody now knows it's out there. I know y'all had a great crowd Friday, and matter of fact, we're going to have lunch there either today or tomorrow. I'm going to see the new movie out, Downton Abbey, I think's the name of it.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I can't. Hey, great movie. Don't badmouth it. And I think we're going to have dinner.
That's ridiculous.
I'm going to 3:30 show.
You can't even understand what they're saying.
Hey, it's good stuff. I'm telling you. Yeah. Also, don't forget about where am I at? I just lost my place. Oh, don't forget too. I said it again. I'm gonna say it again. 1 in 5 develop skin cancer. If it doesn't look right, feel right, please go see Dr. Ward. If you're listening right now in Northwest Florida, there's an office near you. The guy does an incredible job. I went in. Tom, you know how they they numb it and they cut it out. They go put it in a slide, make sure it's all back. Well, he does such a good job. When I was down in South Florida, I kept coming in numb, and that thing hurt like hell. So he does it, numbs it one time, gets it done, and you're through.
Does he bring you that big box of Kleenex the way you wipe your eyes when you start crying?
No, he will Smith me one day, but I wouldn't be still. He slapped the heck out of me, but I'm good now. We'll be right back, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Weather in Northwest Florida can change on a dime.
Gale force winds bombarded with heavy rain.
That's why 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida has the most up-to-date forecast on the Gulf Coast. Hi, this is staff meteorologist Tim Root. With over 40 years of experience, I know just how fast we can go from sun and fun to a serious situation. For the most accurate and detailed weather when it matters, rely on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Reliable Copy Products is proud to be the exclusive dealer in Northwest Florida for Kyocera office equipment. Reliable Copy Products has been committed to providing professional, personalized service for the last 35 years. They understand that the right equipment does not always fall within today's budget requirements, so they offer several options for the equipment you need today for the growth you expect tomorrow. Call James Smothers at 784-6601, 784-6601. Reliable Copy Products on Harrison Avenue, just north of Bay High School.
Hi, this is Coach James Hale. Keeping your car looking great is easy as 1, 2, 3 at Blue Sky Express Car Wash. By joining their monthly wash club, you'll get the best bang for your buck. In just 2 car washes, your monthly membership pays for itself, starting at only $19.99 a month. What are you waiting for? Become a member today at Blue Sky Express Car Wash on Back Beach Road next to Home Depot. Tell them Coach Hale sent you.
Golf Plus is your premier golf shop on the Gulf Coast. Not a big box or a chain store, but a local store with golf experts to serve you. An amazing array of demo and fitting products, plus a professional repair shop that can handle anything from a basic re-grip to a full set of re-shafts and everything in between. Golf Plus has locations in Dothan and Panama City Beach to serve you. Come see them today for all your golf needs. Located next to Firefly at the Shops at Edgewater. Call 850-249-2726.
The Coach James Hale Show is live and local from the J. Michaels studio.
They got something that money couldn't buy. I was noticing when you come down the stairs that you've got pretty legs.
All right, I'll tell you a story without a happy ending.
Y'all following this?
ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. All right, NCAA has changed some things up. I want to get you guys' opinion on this. Dave, this really affects the team you really pull for. The NCAA Council votes to relax title game requirements. In the past, you had to have 12 teams. You had to have divisions to have a conference championship game. This is out the window now. One conference is going to change there this coming up year, the Pac-12. The Pac-12 conference now, the top 2 games by winning percentages will play one another for the conference championship. Of course, Fox will carry this. This is for the 2022 no longer North-South division playing for the championship over there. The 2 winningest by percentage, regardless of divisions. The Pac-12 has not had a team in the playoffs since 2016. I think that was Washington when they lost to Bama in Atlanta. Southern Cal, this is what everybody's thinking. Southern Cal and Utah might play each other twice. Utah, as we know, played in the Rose Bowl last year. They got Florida week 1. They're supposed to be loaded. And everything you see going on at Southern Cal now, with all the transfer players in, they are the number 1 team in the nation, and transfer players coming in. They got a good roster right now.
Is this conference winning percentage or season? Like, I mean, Utah plays Florida game 1. Are you going to see teams
it's winning? No, it's the whole deal.
So why go and schedule Florida at that point?
I was thinking the same
thing.
thing.
Go play Portland State. Go play Eastern Washington, and go play Idaho Tech.
Yeah,
we got
I'm gonna double
so
check
good,
that.
I think.
Yeah. Well, what do you want? Let me ask you this: let's say Southern Cal, they screw up and lose 1 game, but they beat Utah. Now they got to go play them again at the end of the year, kind of like Alabama and Georgia, and they lose to them at the end of the year, or they already beat them. Now they're out of the playoffs. So I don't know if I like this or not. It could. They're both in the same division right now. Is what I'm getting at, where they would be probably playing Oregon.
Yeah.
So
no, actually, they're not playing Oregon. They're not playing Oregon this year. So
it is highest conference winning
percentage.
Okay.
Conference.
All right.
Okay, conference. Hey, Mike, come in and say hello to everybody. Sit down. I'm sorry. We got you in the hot chair today, baby. But, Dave, think about that, though. They could be knocked out of the playoffs having to play a team they've already beat once. I don't like that part of it.
I agree. But it's also, you saw that a lot in the ACC with, Clemson always being so dominating. And whoever they're going to play, they're actually going to, they're going to boat race no matter who it is.
Right.
I mean, so it's, I guess for the competitive aspect of it, you would want the 2 best teams playing for it, regardless if you got to play them again.
And TV sets are turned on to watch a good game.
Exactly. I mean, nobody wants to watch Clemson, beat the hell out of Wake. I mean, they'd rather, you got a better chance against, playing somebody else on that level. So.
Well, I'm glad you two are in here right now because you Michigan State, even though we got you converted to the Southeastern Conference, and Alabama.
I actually live down here longer than I have up there.
And Dave, Dave's been to games. And who'd you go with, Jeff and Tanya and
Well, I've been to Florida State games with I've been to I go to usually a Florida State game once a year, an Alabama game once a year. So
you go with Griff up there?
Up to Alabama. I actually go with friends Kyle and Angie Wilson, but usually Griff and Laura go up there with us, and we usually get a whole crew that goes up there once a year.
We're trying to get him over. His wife's there. We're trying to get him to join the crowd.
You got no shot. I mean, you got no shot.
I'm trying. Yeah. I'll do the best I can. All right. Saban made some comments this morning. Have y'all heard about it?
No.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
You heard about
A&M?
A&M bought every single player.
Jealous.
Jackson State, where it's Dion. They make the commercials together. What's it, Aflac?
Aflac.
Then he threw out Miami, the big booster Miami's in the paper bragging about he just got a kid. How much? 800,000?
Just 800,000
for basketball. And they got other boosters bragging about paying all their players to come to Miami. So he's upset. He's in Birmingham talking to some business people. And Jeremy goes, there's a reason he always does things. He doesn't just spout off. Well, now Dion's pissed off at him. He said, I'm going to have a response to this later today. Jimbo Fisher's all mad. But he is worried about something. There's 4 schools we can't compete with at being at Alabama. I know this for a fact. Georgia can't do it. I don't even think Ohio State can. And that's Ohio State, Georgia, and Alabama can win national championship. We've done it. But we don't have the money. Southern Cal has, Texas has, Texas A&M, and Notre Dame. And you look at recruiting right now, and I got it written down. I got to find my notes. I got it written down right now. The number 1 team in the country right now in recruiting, Notre Dame. The number 2 team in the country right now, Southern Cal in recruiting. Number 1 team in the country right now getting recruits or transfers come in, Southern Cal. Notre Dame, with the money they have with their alumni, the boosters and all that kind of stuff, they can afford to do anything they want to do. Southern Cal, same way. Texas A&M, they got more money. It's crazy, and so does Texas. Saban knows that. It's going to be a different world 4 or 5 years down the road if they keep going on what they're doing right now, where everybody can go. It's pay to play. And he says it's not good for college football. Well, I know what it's not good for Alabama. It's not good for him because they're going to have a hard time winning national championships when Texas A&M put together the greatest recruiting class in history.
Exactly how many do you need? How many national championships do you need to make you happy? I'm just curious.
You've
had 6 of the last 10.
I'm 65.
I'm an Alabama fan, but let's be real. Can you please let somebody else win one every once in a while?
Dave,
I know
you got to do what's best for college football. And what's best for college football, Alabama win it every year. You know that. It gives us something to talk about. Life's better. But really, though, they are worried about those schools. And now you can pay for play. What do y'all guys think? I think those 4 schools are going to come to the top. I really do.
It's going to wreck college football as we know it. It's going to change the entire game. But I think, through history, there's always been something they thought was going to change it. Just like with the salaries with professional baseball. Hey, nobody's going to go to these games anymore, professional sports. It always seems to persevere. I think college football will always persevere. They'll find a way. It's too big. People love it too much. It'll wreck it, but there'll just be a new version of it that we'll all get used to. And
all right,
it's not going to be fun watching it.
You're a businessman. You look bottom line money. If you're one of these big wealthy guys, sooner or later, you can't just keep throwing money away every year to get great players to come to that school unless you're just super loaded. Even then, those guys they're winners, man. They want to make return on what they're investing. I just don't see the return in it. I was talking about earlier, the best commercials I ever used to love watching was Bo Jackson. Bo knows. I love that stuff. But who else is out there can bring in that type of money with commercials, paying those guys that kind of money? Alabama's quarterbacks make it, and here we go. I should have used another quarterback. Tennessee's quarterback. Let's use Tennessee. $8 million. Is there a college quarterback worth $8 million in the SEC? Yeah, they are. Yeah, I guess there is.
If he wins.
Yeah, if there is. Yeah, that was a stupid question. I guess there is. But, he signed his name in high school, got $350,000 saving his name. He's going to make it. Tennessee did pretty good the way they funneled the money. He's going to have to go there, play there, get the whole package. But I mean, would you throw money away not getting returned?
No, and I think you'll see some collateral damage from it. I think you'll see a lot of kids making really huge mistakes. You get some kid handed that much money at that young of an age, especially if they don't come from a good background. You're going to see some problems. And I think there'll be a lot of damage, not just on the field, but I think off the field as well. There's going to be a lot of problems. I mean, you see it right now. Some of these highly recruited. We had one kid here that was Eddie.
Yeah.
A great kid. I mean, got up there, got in the bright lights, and it went south for him. That's those are tough stories. It's tough enough being a kid in that spotlight, but when they're sophomores in high school and juniors in high school, and they're on ESPN on their webpage, you're a kid. You're looking at all that stuff, and you start acting that way. And I think it's unless you got a good, strong foundation with good parents and good coaches, you can go astray real quick.
I'm glad you brought that up. It was crazy, like from one year to the next year, when you get all that national press. And you're on TV all the time, and you got magazines calling you, different coaching stuff. It can affect you in a different way. And that young man went through more than you'll ever know. I do know they could make a damn movie about what he went through. It had everything involved, and it was terrible. He had experienced that. His uncle did a good job raising him. I take some blame in that. I should have done a better job with him, but. I tell you, if I told the whole story right now, I'm telling you, that really and truly could be a damn movie, what he went through. And when everybody thinks, why did he screw up from one year to the next year? If you knew, it's something. Anyway, I'll shut up. I better shut up. I better shut up on that.
It sounds like a 30 for 30.
Oh, no, really. I'm honest to God, I'm not lying to you. It could be a hit movie. TV series and everything else.
But you take those same stories and then you throw $1 million on top of it. It's only exacerbated.
Could you imagine the kind of money he could have got? The number one, he was rated the number one athlete in the nation. I think number 5 player over on the country. It was unreal.
He was up there.
And the things I seen that kid do at practice and games were unbelievable. He jumped up, intercepted a pass. I'm standing there, and I look up, and his feet are right here. I mean, I've never seen anybody could jump like him. I never seen anybody could run like him or hit like him. And Kirby called me 4 in the morning. I'm like, oh, my God, you got to be kidding me. And Kirby and Jeremy Pruitt both told me, said he's going to be he's going to play in the NFL. He's going to be a great NFL player. And all was lost in one night. But it really and truly was lost about 9 months earlier, the things that happened his senior year. And that's when everything started going the wrong way. But anyway, getting back to what we were talking about, I got off subject there a little bit. What's the answer, though? What are we going to do? Because I'm like you. I think it's going to blow up, and then it will correct itself. Does the government have to get involved? Saban was talking about the antitrust. We got to do something. We got to get. What did he say? The NCAA can't enforce.
They can't enforce.
They can't enforce the rules they have now. He goes because the transfer deals. They got sued one time when a kid, I don't know if it was a kid from Ohio State or not, was going to sue if they didn't let him play. Was it Fields? Was it Justin Fields? I think it was Fields was going to sue because he heard somebody call him a name at Georgia, which I don't believe. He goes up to Columbus. They're going to have to sit out a year. They get a lawyer, and they're going to threaten to take it to court, and then they waived it and let him play. And Saban said that they can't enforce the rules because if it goes to court, they can't win. So there's no rules anymore. And he's worried it's going to ruin college football. And like you said, Dave, I think it might. Are you going to pay all this money to go watch a game, and then next year you're watching somebody totally different? Down Southwest Florida high school football, I went down there my last year coaching. I was down there 15 years before, and nobody goes to games. And I asked the people, I said, what's going on? He said, we don't want to go sit in the stands and watch these kids. They don't even live in our neighborhood. We don't know who they are. And that's what's happening now. Okay, we got to take a break right now. Dave, tell us what's going on down in the restaurant, man. A great crowd Friday night. I think people now are seeing that you guys got something good going on down there.
Yeah. Well, that was our first shot at live music, and went really well. I mean, I wanted them to be swinging from the rafters, and we pretty much accomplished that.
I thought I did it pretty good.
They're very good.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
When I got to sing, I thought I was pretty good.
Oh,
Did you not hear that one?
No, I didn't. I must have been in bed running.
Y'all were running down the Firefly.
Yeah, that's a good story, too. We're right in the middle of it all, Firefly. There's smoke coming out of Firefly. And Dave was standing next to me 5 minutes earlier, and I was like, where's Dave? Does he know? And I'm sprinting down there, and I get halfway down there, and I look, and I can tell it's not a kitchen fire, so I slowed down. And I found out he was up on the roof already with a couple of his employees with fire extinguishers.
I can't believe that. Man.
Yeah,
that's
believe it. That's
what are you going to do? I mean, you got to try something. I mean, you just can't sit there.
Yeah.
I want you alive. I like you alive.
Anyway, that was a great night for us. That was the busiest night we've had since we've been open.
It was a great
And we're not going to probably be a regular live music venue, but we'll drop some in from time to time for special events like that.
Yeah. I had a guy call me yesterday and said, hey, I went to lunch there. It was good. It was good. And I said, well, how was the crowd? He goes, it was pretty good. So a lot of people didn't know it was there. So that's what they're getting the words out, and people now word of mouth about how good the food is. I mean, hell, you know it's good if Firefly has anything to do with it. We all know about that, and you do a great job also.
Yeah, thank you. No, we've gotten rave reviews on the food so far and service.
The mayor wants to hear the rest of the story. Greg Bernicki, tell us. No. All right, we'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
The new app from 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida is designed specifically for sports fanatics like you. The sports content you demand is always on. Live stream our national and local sports talk anywhere you go. Reach us on all social media. You can also be a part of the show. Call and text into our studios. Plus, up-to-the-minute weather and traffic maps. The new app from 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida is available at the Apple Store and Google Play.
Good Thursday morning. I'm forecasting mostly sunny skies, warm temperatures today in the mid-80s, a southwest wind about 10 to 15. Partly to mostly cloudy overnight in the low 70s. Water temperature in the Gulf of Mexico is 78. Partly sunny Friday, maybe a thunderstorm. This weather forecast has been brought to you by KHS and Associates, your source for affordable medical insurance. For 104.3 and 102.1 ESPN Northwest Florida, I'm meteorologist Tim Root.
Let your adventures begin in a new Kia from Bill Bird Kia. Stop by today and discover why everyone is talking about the award-winning Kia. Now offering 1.9% APR up to 48 months on a new purchase of the 2022 Kia Forte, K5, Soul, or Sorento. Bill Bird Kia is not only the home of that 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty, they're also the home of the best customer experience anywhere. Stop by and see us at 2435 East 15th Street or anytime at BillBirdKia.com. We make buying a car easy, and you'll enjoy the way we do business.
Offer from KMF for purchase of a new 2022 Forte, K5, Soul, or Sorento with $2,165 per month per $1,000 financed in 48 months. Quantities limited. No down payment required. Cannot be combined with other finance offers. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia warranty. See dealer for complete details. Offer for well-qualified buyers. Must take delivery from dealer stock through 5/31/22.
Ben and Deb Collins, owners of Bay Guns and Gear, have been in business since 2010, offering new firearms and accessories with a huge selection available for your hunting needs and personal defense. Turn to Bay Guns and Gear. They have the weapon for you. Discount pricing. And if you can't find what you're looking for, they'll special order it for you. Bay Guns and Gear, across from Grease Pro at 3115 Highway 77. Visit their website, baygunsandgear.com.
He doesn't always go the extra mile. But when he does, it's because he missed the exit. It's the Coach James Hale Show. Live and local inside the J. Michaels Studio. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Dave, you guys do some great things, too. We were talking about Lamar Signs earlier. They're putting nurses' pictures up on these billboards, just kind of honoring them and things like that. You guys do this kind of stuff every single day. Talk about what goes down at American Charlie's.
Yeah, so we offer 10%. We call it military, but it's actually, and it's military, active, or retired. Mm-hmm. So obviously we appreciate that. But we also do the first responders, police, fire, EMT, rescue. And I'm seeing that daily starting to build. We've had actually several of the police in full uniform and come in for lunch here lately, which is nice to see. But, we feel like those people out there on the front line are the real heroes of our community. and we just want to appreciate them. 10% off every day. That's the least we could do.
I love going in there and seeing the American flag, the Statue of Liberty, everything you guys designed is really good. Really appreciate that.
You know what I find interesting? A lot of times they don't want it. They just, hey, we really appreciate what you guys are doing. The fact that you're willing to take care of us and you show your appreciation, love for us. But, hey, we want to support you more than anything else. So that's what I've kind of found really interesting about those guys. 10% is not a lot. It's more just it's a nice gesture to show, and so it's.
We always tell everybody too on the air, if you can afford it, and you ever see a police officer at one of these restaurants, if you could buy their lunch, not just quietly buy their lunch, that's good. Yeah. I've done it once or twice.
I was able to get. I'm going to pat myself on the back here. I was in a Waffle House about 2 weeks ago, and there was a soldier sitting there in uniform, so obviously I knew. And I was able to get his lunch and get out of there without him knowing. So
that's a good thing, man. What's the special today?
Can we jump to tomorrow? We got fried catfish tomorrow, Friday, and we did it last week, and it was wildly successful.
Did they come from Georgia?
That's where my catfish.
Tommy brought them in.
Fried Fish Friday.
Yeah, Fried Fish Friday, and I had it last week, and it was fantastic.
Well, I tell you what, I will come in tomorrow.
I don't know if Lori down at the carousel listens to your station in the morning, but she loves fried catfish. So, Lori, this is your invite for tomorrow.
I'll tell you what, I will definitely be there tomorrow. I was either going to go today or tomorrow. I'll be there tomorrow. I love catfish.
Yeah.
Hal, before we get out today, it's running by pretty quickly. Jordan Addison, we're not going to get a visit out of him. He's not going to come. Alabama's trying to get in there, I think. But he is the Blitnikoff winner, one of the best players in college football. It's down now to 2 schools. And here we go again. Who's got all the money? It's down to Texas and Southern Cal.
Unranked Southern Cal? Still unranked Southern Cal?
This insider thinks it's going to be Southern Cal.
He's going to make some money.
Whichever school he goes to, he's going to be a huge impact offensively, no doubt about that. The guy can play. 100 catches, 1,593 yards receptions, 17 touchdowns for Pitt. Pitt's coach is still very upset. Feels like Lincoln Riley made some contact with the kid or whatever. Who knows what happened? It's legal. Everything's legal now. Where do you think he winds up, Southern Cal or Texas?
I don't know. I was actually excited for Keaton Slovis, going to Pitt to actually have a guy to throw to, because I think he's a good kid, a hard-working kid, and so I thought, what a great move for him if he's going to leave Southern Cal to go to Pitt, where he's got a great wide receiver. And then he splits on him, so that's a bummer. So, hey, if he shows up at Southern Cal, great. If he doesn't, oh well.
I think he goes to Southern Cal. You know why? The quarterback. You watch the highlights of that kid, the freshman at Oklahoma?
He's going to end up at Southern Cal.
I think so, too.
Would you stay in Pittsburgh any longer than necessary?
Yeah, that's true.
Well, he's going to make a lot of money, and they're going to throw the ball. Lincoln Riley throws the ball to the field. They've been in the playoffs. Texas, Stark has not made the playoffs. What happened to Stark at Southern Cal? Just lost? Just couldn't win?
Drinking problem.
Yep.
That's right. Yep. I forgot all about that.
And then that's how he came to Alabama for the Saban rehab stint.
Yeah. Big Ten news. I did this for you. I looked this up for you. You know that Mal Tucker is the wealthiest coach, was the wealthiest, most highly paid coach in the Big Ten, $9.5 million a year. You know who it is now?
I'm going to guess Ryan Day.
Ryan Day. They just, and you know how much money they gave him? The exact same. Yeah. Same contract, everything. Well, they gave a 2-year extension. He was making $7.6 million. Now he's going to make $9.5 million. He's only 43 years old. Dave, how many foods you got to sell per night over a year to make that kind of money?
More than a little bit.
I was on the fence when my Spartans gave Tucker that much money after.
I thought that was too quick.
2-5 season, and then a great season where he got lucky with Kenneth Walker Jr. Well, got lucky, whatever. He got him. And we had a great season, but man, that was just too much money too quick. Yep. But I think they did it, circling the wagons and trying to keep him from getting picked off by somebody else.
LSU was looking at some other schools.
Yep, and so it was just, pay to play, I guess, pretty much.
But, after he got that money, they did it during the season. After, I think he lost 2 games after getting the new contract.
Yeah, I was looking at it going, well, he could go 0-4 on the way out. He didn't end up doing that, but that's just a ton of money.
And is it the players that make the coach, or the coach that makes the players these days?
I'm going to tell you right now, I coach. I was a hell of a football coach, and I had great players. I wouldn't worth a dang when I didn't have players. You can't. I'm going to tell you, I always say it. I'm honest about it. And Tommy will tell you the same thing. You can't win without good players. Now, you can lose with them. I've done that. You can lose with good players, but you can't win without them. And that's the reason it's all about recruiting.
Gene Chizik didn't forget how to coach overnight.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Nor did Willie Taggart or a lot of these guys. I mean, they got some special players that come in and do special things. Then all of a sudden they forget how to coach. 2 years later, I don't think that's the case.
If I had Cam Newton, I could win football games.
Or Jameis Winston.
Yeah. What do you think, though, seriously, Saban, Jimbo Fisher, but you hit it out of the ballpark. He said it right. Who was listening to him?
Business people.
Alabama business people.
100%.
So he is smart.
And they'll throw their last dime in to make sure they win. Their last dime. They'll put their kids' college fund.
Hey, listen, we say pride. We're last in education, but we're first in football, baby.
Just win, baby.
How much time we got? Oh, good. Okay, good. I'm glad. I thought we were about through. I'm getting texts here from the mayor and everybody else. Do you ever give a discount to politicians at Firefly?
I'm not even going to answer I'm sure when it comes to election season, the mayor will come and say, "Hey, Dave, how you doing?"
Oh, my God. What's this? Oh, it's something about LSU. That's all I got, man. Heck,
I got a quick question. It's has nothing to do with sports. What goes into a name of a restaurant? What's the,
Man, I don't know how Firefly got
I stole it. I stole it from a restaurant in L.A.
So with American Charlie, when Dave and we had talked about it before, like 7 years before. So this time around, we literally were standing outside the building, and he's like, "What you got?" And I, at that time, had been looking at food trucks. So I threw a couple out, Wits End, which was a play off of my last name, and then another one was Food Jam. And then finally I said American Charlie, and he was like, "That's it." So that's kind of how that one got.
That's interesting.
15 seconds. I knew I was right. I got a call real quick. Jared goes, but LSU and Coach O. He had players he won. Players got hurt. Players moved out, lost his coordinators, and he lost. Hey, great show today. Thank you guys for all coming in. Tommy, thank you. Jeremy, Mike, Dave. We'll see you guys next Thursday. Y'all be here.
Sure.
I'll be in Birmingham next Thursday. Jeremy, you going to run it?
I should be around.
Okay.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Colin Cowherd. Boston's become the reliable 401k. You put money away, you'll never get rich, but you'll be safe and content. I've seen the Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart thing. It's adorable. And as much as I admire Giannis and the Bucks, in the last 6 years, 4 of them, they've been eliminated in the first or second round.
The Herd, weekdays 11 to 2 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
We paid how much for those lessons?
Shh. She's doing great.